Hey, welcome to another episode of The Couch Coaches. And today we'll talk about Naanram Peria.
Aussies have that self-belief that they can win from any situation, right? But I think Pat Cummins was totally switched on as a captain. He said he'll silence the crowd and he owned it. He bowled that ball to Shreyas Iyer. He got Kohli's wicket.
Every IPL RT, no, he didn't set up for the start of ball because they were boarding it for to him for 3 or 4 overs before he got out.
So talent எல்லார்கிட்டயும் இருக்கு. Talent இருந்தாதான் final வர போவாங்க. But it's mindset in the knockout. Right?
India had great individual performance through the tournament, right? But we are obsessed by saying, and personally too,
Rocco or
look at Virat, Rocco, look at Rohit.
Our Ranjini na Kamal. Hi, welcome to the post-match review of the finals. We are sad, but we are also gung-ho for the future of the Indian team. So, as usual, we will analyze our predictions, the overall match analysis second, and then the breaking point. So, over to Ramesh.
Yeah, thank you, Priyesh. Great to be back on the Couch Coaches. What a weekend, right? I mean, India played very well like champions, but kudos to Australia for winning well. I think we'll go over our picks first. So I think first Rama's picks. Rama, I think you.
Yeah, I picked Rohit, Sami, and KL Rahul. So KL Rahul was a game changer. We'll talk about it over later. I think you picked Priyesh picked Gill, Jaddu, and Sky. Ramesh, you picked Rohit, Bumrah, and Kohli.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think we will give it to Ramesh because I think he had the most impact of the Indian picks. To the Aussie picks, I think I picked Agent Spint as a batter and bowler as Hazelwood. I think Hazelwood came back well. He was, thumped by Rohit in the first 3 or 4 overs, and then I picked Head. Sorry.
I know both of you guys did, which is what says that one part of me says it's good that the coach picked the right people, but then why did you pick him, right? Ramesh picked Head, Stark, and Maxwell. See, I am the one who did the due justice for India's victory. I picked people who didn't have an impact. I picked Warner, Zampa, and Maxwell, right?
You should pick more players.
Maybe if you give me the choice of 11, if I pick all the 11 and nobody plays well, India would have won. Anyway, back to our prediction. Even for India, we picked Rohit, and then Rohit played well. I mean, from a same tempo, didn't change any of the things coming in.
We will go to the overall analysis now because we have a lot of talking points in the overall analysis. So, Ramesh, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. Look, I think we all called it as a one-sided. It's going to be a one-sided final. It did turn out to be eventually a one-sided final, except that Australia won. Aussies have that self-belief that they can win from any situation, right? They're not about individual stars. And the final, Travis had put up his hand. Maxwell, Rohit hit a 4 and 6. Then he went for another one. Travis pulled out this catch. And for me, I was reminded, like I was saying, the 1983 final, where the West Indies team had already booked the party, the hall and everything. Chasing 183, Richards was blasting. And out of nowhere, Kapil Dev Nikanj pulls this catch and he gives this self-belief to the Indian team, and they go on to win the World Cup for the first time. So after Rohit got out, right, I think run rate, it all went downhill from 8 and over to 4 and over. If you see, from 0 to 10 overs, we are 8 and over. From 11 to 50, we are 4 and over. So just look at the stats.
we only scored four boundaries
Correct.
from the 10th over to the 58th over. That
Yep.
itself shows the intent.
Correct.
And there was no intent to rotate the strike. I know we
Huh.
didn't want to lose wickets.
Correct.
Whether the message went from the dressing room from Dravid or Rohit, KL Rahul and Virat are great at rotating strike.
Correct.
So that did not happen. So again, talking of numbers, he was 100 of 62 in semi-final, but 62 of 100 in the final. So, and again, these are the little moments, right? The other thing for me is India was beaten by India batting slowly in familiar conditions. The conditions are you cannot say it's a pitch and all that, right? You'll get these kind of pitches. So, but I think Pat Cummins was totally switched on as a captain. He said he'll silence the crowd and he owned it. He bowled that ball to Shreyas Iyer. He got Kohli's wicket.
साले ने सचमुच घुसा दिया डॉक्टर
ये जो कहते हैं वो कर दिखाते हैं
And head as expected gave us the headache. And our tail as expected did not wag. Bombay Amrutanjan did not work. Shreyas Iyer,
No, definitely
Yeah,
good point about Cummins, right? I thought they were on point in the. If you look at the overall analysis right, Australia came prepared, right, and right off the bat, the way they set the fielding, the way they, if you look in the first 5-7 overs, the kind of force that they saved was itself about 15 to 20 runs which got saved.
easily,
So,
easily.
and India sort of right. I wouldn't again backed in the tempo of just being realistic and in the aspect of doing where we did better. The recalibration that they should have gotten into when you start with 80 of 10 overs. And you are sitting with Dravid and thinking about the strategy and deciding, okay, and this is what Rohit also said, that maybe 280 was the target. And if you're playing slow and losing wickets, which is a big no-no, either you're going for it and you lost wickets, which is okay because then you at least got the tempo on, or you played safe and you still kept losing wickets and you never got into a stage where you could at least go for the kill. And scoring just 160 runs in the next 40, going slow on, and to your point, where playing in familiar conditions was a miss in the strategy from an India standpoint.
So I think Australia was spot on with the strategy. And first, if you see Pat Cummins, last 5 or 6 hours he bowled to Sky, there was no mid-off.
correct.
There were two people behind the keeper for
Correct.
him to strike us away or whatever,
Right.
and they bowled at least 20 to 30 kilometers slower to Sky. That Sky was not able to fly.
Right.
Second, as you said, I think they saved at least 25 to 40 runs in the field.
Right.
That's a major difference because if we had scored also 280 because of the view, it would have looked like 250.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
But I think Road gets the pitch perfectly well. I don't know what happened to Rahul, Sky, and Kohli that they played so slowly
Correct.
that maybe intent was there not there, or maybe the situation got over them. We
Yep.
don't know. So
Yep.
it is in their mind that they couldn't rotate.
Yep.
I mean, we were playing 3 and over for 20 overs.
Correct.
But the same thing had and change was scoring 5 and over.
Correct.
And there was no intent in setting the field to stop that 5 easy singles. That is
Exactly.
also one fault of the Road's captaincy.
Correct. Yeah, I think being just that what he showed in his batting in the opening of just being an aggressive captain, the captaincy in general has been a little slow, where he would pick up eventually. And here was a game where that eventually could not happen. And had we started at 47 for 3, where you pulled the field in and then asked Head to sort of go for it, right? And then you had a chance of getting one more wicket, knowing that Dew has set in, and it's going to become an easy pitch. There's no point taking this match the last 5-7 overs.
No,
It's
you
all
have to.
about getting wickets. It's
Yeah,
all about
yeah,
getting
I've
wickets.
always said this, right? So Rohit and Dravid, they have been clear and decisive,
Yep.
but they've always been stuck in their own plans. The one day when India won't perform, I was hoping it was not in the final.
Correct.
You call it law of averages, whatever. If you remember the 2011 final, Dhoni walks out, even though Yuvraj is in the best form of his
Correct.
life. So here they made two changes. If you see, again, Siraj was picked as the key bowler, but they did not play him till 17th over.
no. And to your point, Ramesh, he has done well or very well in Indian colors in the last 18 months with the new ball. He has not come first range at all, Siraj. So, giving Shami the new ball sent two messages. One, we are trying to for wickets. If we fail, then the second part of the strategy is not there. Okay, or you should have done the same rotation which we have done the last 5 or 6 games when Shami had come, and giving Siraj the third over of Shami or fourth over of Shami instead of playing Shami for 5 overs.
Yep.
But when you got them for at 47th for 3, why didn't you give another 2 overs to Brahma and Shami and take out one of the 8 or Rabashain? Because then you are getting to Maxi and the bowlers.
Correct.
If you get into Maxi and the bowlers, the other thing for me is it was like I was reminded of Mahabharata, where you are hiding Jayadratha till the end, till the sunset, right? Why are you hiding? So, by the way, Siraj had a great finish. Siraj, while batting, he had 8 of 5. Give the ball to him, tell him hit the stumps, right? You did not do that. The second change, if you notice, they sent Jadeja ahead of Sky, which I agree. But Jadeja should have come much earlier. When Rohit got out, he should have signaled to a dressing room, send a left-hander. Jadeja in the end is useless. Go hit out. Even if you get like 25 or 18, 17 balls, he has taken it forward. Shreyas got out and Sky was letting the tailenders play. That is, come on. That is, he was, if you see Kuldeep Yadav was taking run of the 6th ball and farming the strike,
Right.
where Sky should have said, give me the over.
Right.
Taylor made for me. He came in with 10 overs left.
Yep.
And to your point, Priyesh, the ball was being balled body line length, but with a slow body line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit me long ground. That is the time you have to do. And by the way, KL scored 1-4 in 107 balls or something, that one flap over the.
Correct.
So I think a lot of things went wrong, and India will learn and evolve from this. I think. I really hope we move away from an individual obsessed, nation to a team. We see Rohit and Virat are generational players, but kudos to Travis Head, man. Again, he reminded me of David Boone, who came from Tasmania, 87 World Cup champion, and all. They keep on producing these champions. And
No, good point about not being.
by the way, we should think of two individuals:
Yeah.
Shane Warne, who called Travis Head, who's no longer there, and Bishan Singh Bedi. We lost him during the World Cup. So anyway.
No, but good point on not being talking about individuals, because even Maxwell will be remembered for that innings. But otherwise, right, Australia will always, you cannot just pick and say one person did this. India had great individual performance through the tournament, right? But we are obsessed by saying, and personally too,
Coco
right?
or
Look at Virat, Rocco, look at Rohit, because it's just the way we are constructed. But we also had people who put their hands up at different points in time. This game, however, I think we came lacking, lost to a superior team who just came better prepared. Strategy was point on. Right from the first ball, the field setup was perfect, right? And they knew that if they sort of restrain India, and then even when Rohit was on song, they didn't lose the plot, right? 10 overs, 80, 85. There was a chance that Dew may not set in, because I think there was this notion. And if it didn't set in, could the India hit 330, 340? And this is where the what if scenarios come in. If Rohit had gotten maybe a boundary in that over and head didn't catch it, or he told himself that he got a six, he got a four, there was no need to go for a four again, whatever it may be.
The
Then,
other thing I think, Rama, this is important, right? This is a 50-over game.
Yep.
Okay. So you have to win the small innings, they say, right?
Yes.
You have to win the phases. So when Rohit got out, guess who was bowling after that? Travis Head and Mitchell
Right.
Marsh. They
Right.
scored.
Maxwell, Head, and Mitchell Marsh bowled a complete quota of 10 overs,
Right.
and I think for 40 or 50, and they didn't rotate even. I'm not
Right.
saying go for the big ones.
Right.
And the fifth bowler for them usually should have got 70.
Right.
They went only for 50.
Correct.
And I will continue from the Shami opening. If you are saying that this is the strategy, then go full blown, because after the 10 overs, you didn't have an idea of how to be aggressive. You were waiting for things to happen.
Correct.
Purida. So when you went aggressive by giving Shami the new ball, okay,
Yep.
fantastic. Approach was different, because if you had thought of it before, then you should have played Ashwin, but the sport demanded that change. Okay,
Correct.
then it was very aggressive, and then we timidly allowed them to come into the game.
Correct.
Second, I saw a video of the Australia Sri Lanka game. That's where they won and got the momentum. Okay, so Zampa will be bowling, and Warner will take a brilliant running catch. Okay, so Zampa said the first 2 matches and the third match also, he had severe back spasms for 15 days. That he was taking drugs for, I mean, the tablets for the back spasms. And every game, he didn't know what was happening in the first 15 overs because of the tablets. Okay. After the catch was taken, Stoners who came to the team and said, Zampa, you can have a bat back. I could tear my hamstring from the bone. Nobody is going to care about it. All that they want is for us to win. Come on, boys. This is a chance for us to get on track.
Correct.
That speech on the ground and that mentality of winning, that is what Aussies are.
So see, net, right? I know this happened. It's sport. Only one can win. It teaches you a lot of things. So maybe it's now to sort of pivot and then talk about, how India has done it and how we are excited for the future, which we all sort of agree, right? Firstly, great run, and specifically even in this match, yeah, there were a few misses, but there were, lightning coming up once in a while. I think the way Rohit started was great. The mindset of KL Rahul starting initially a little wary is understandable, right? Which made sense.
That's okay.
But not getting bogged down and the willingness to sort of carry on and the ability to switch to a more guarded test match kind of a mindset, which is needed in maybe tough conditions. We go and play in, let's say, South Africa or in other places, you probably need this. They could have done this. And we probably gave it a run. Head had a great game, right? And this is where, to your point, both Priyesh and Ramesh.
Rama, I think we lost it in the batting because the strategy and the fielding was super, because that pitch wanted 260 to 280 minimum.
Correct.
No team has won a World Cup except the 193 in 1983.
Correct.
With a score below 240.
Correct. So maybe what Ramesh you said is right. Kapil Deviyum invite பண்ணல, ரஜினிகாந்தும் ஃபீல்ட் இல்ல. So கஷ்டம் தான் India.
Kashtam. The other thing is, when you look at it, we talked in the Couch Coaches about intent, right? The reason India came so far so convincingly was because of intent. Right. Okay? I am going to attack the fast bowler, Hazelwood and Irangi Adipai, right?
Yep.
He attacked. So if you think, oh, I'll get out the first ball, then you're driven by fear of failure.
Yep.
Which is what KL Rahul was driven by, I think, right? Whereas Zampa example, Kurta example, Priyesh, he's driven by this is my opportunity, or even that Afghanistan innings, right? So I think it comes down to intent, that self-belief that it's okay now. Jadeja has played well. Don't leave and say that last 6 overs, the Sky is going to score 100.
Correct.
And they are showing the air show, and he's practicing the air show, right? I mean, these are all, see, it's like the donut. Everything is good, 110,000 people crowd. Either our prime minister is there, we have won all this, but it's back to focus on the core, which is what Australia did. Unfortunately, they took, Pat Cummins said he's going to silence the crowd of 120,000 people and all that. He ended up silencing the crowd, and I really feel bad for the crowd. But again, learnings, learnings, right? I think India will come out stronger. Honestly, if you had won the World Cup, we'll always celebrate. We'll think India's great. Now the inspection will be there, which will make us better. We lost badly 2007 World Cup. Badly. We did not even qualify. We lost against, so it will get better.
I mean, the maybe the other point is going to be the next World Cup. With the talent that we're getting coming, it's going to be great. We're going to be better prepared. Only thing is, Rohit and Virat Roko will be in the stands because they would have retired.
So talent ellarkitteyum irukku. Talent irundha dhaan final vara povanga, but it's mindset in the knockout.
Correct.
Right?
Got it. Okay, now switching to the breaking points.
One thing he said, fear of failure. The other upside to that is being afraid. Okay, being afraid now, you will take chances, or not being afraid. That means you will take chances and live on the learnings. That is what Aussies do every time.
Correct.
Don't being afraid is the principle, then being fear of failure.
Correct. And I think to Ramesh brought this up about how Tala came at 2 drop. Doing that change up when you knew that the opponent was better prepared to throw them off should have been, in some ways, could have been the strategy. Anyway,
I also think Ashwin, I want to bring a point. Ashwin plays mind games with the Aussies. As soon as Ashwin comes, Australia is scared. Same thing with Bajji, Harbhajan Singh. He may fail, he may not succeed. But when he comes, he's playing mind games with Ponting, right? Saurav Ganguly plays mind games with Steve Waugh. Okay? Lakshman, Mandale, avanga there. So these are all iconic figures who have done well against Australia. So Aussies, you should take them on by the skin, which Ashwin would have done. He would have played better than Sky in that situation. It's over now. Left-hander, he would have got head, and Warner, that first catch which Kohli would have taken of the first ball, I don't know what would have changed. It was still Warner, but little things.
Yeah. Actually, good point. Had we even played Ashwin in Afghanistan or against Netherlands, but you had decided this 11 for the final, and the opponent is still planning for Ashwin. So you've taken some mental cycles where they think, oh, maybe Ashwin will play. And that would have been a better way, because those games you are secured, even if you had tried Ashwin or anybody else. And as a strategy of not showing your card but letting the opponent just think, gets you some buy-in. But anyway, that being said, everybody has a playbook, right? Dravid is like, he doesn't like to take these movies which are like எண்டிங் கெஸ்ஸே பண்ண முடியாது, இதுதான் நடக்க போகிறது, ஒரு ரொமான்டிக் சாங் இருக்கும், ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தி கோரி ஃபைட் இருக்காது. அதுதான் ராகுல் திராவிட், ரைட்? ஸோ இட்ஸ் ஓகே. அண்ட் ஒன் சேட் பார்ட் இஸ் ராகுல் didn't win a World Cup as a captain, and now he will not win a World Cup as a coach, because I do expect him to not linger around for 4 more years. It will be Mr. VVS sort of coming in, which is exciting in its own way, very, very special. And then the talent pool is anyway that India is going to churn out is great. Now let's probably switch to breaking point, right, of the game. Maybe Priyesh, why don't you call out your breaking points?
The catch of head was breaking point for me, but I thought the bowling of the Aussies well planned to each batsman. The field centering of what they wanted to bowl was there, and we couldn't get away at all. Even Kohli tried to run down. Sklipler got played on, and Sky, he tried. He was Kosi Adhikamari. He was trying. Last over ball after the shot had finished, got his draw and got behind.
Mm.
So I'm. We say in IPL, if the bowler is bowling or going to bowl a lot of store balls, set up for the store ball, and if it's on pace, you can adjust.
Mhm.
So, if every IPL RD no, he didn't set up for the store of ball because they were boarding it for to him for 3 or 4 overs
Mhm.
before you got out.
Mhm.
So it is not that you have to hit all the balls
Mhm.
for a six. Okay, if you are set up, then you could have converted 10 more runs. That's all.
Correct.
Okay, so my the strategy and the bowling was perfect in the bowling session by Aussies. For me,
Mhm.
that's the breaking point.
Okay. So Ramesh.
I agree with Priyesh. I think head taking that catch of Rohit was a breaking point in hindsight. When it happened, I didn't think so. It would be such a big problem because Shreyas would come and hit. Shreyas didn't play well, or he got a good one, whatever. Right. So that is a breaking point for me. Then it was painful to watch India batting. So that is the other thing, right? 50-over game, Adike Boram, we are all talking, right? The score is a 280, 290, 300. It was painful to watch that they kind of gave up. They set a score. And then Kohli getting out inside edge to the stumps is another breaking point because Kohli stayed there. He would milk the bowling till the end and win. So Kohli is a champion. And I can tell you, Kohli is hurt as much as everyone else inside. Okay. Then when it comes to India's bowling, um, Travis Head was a deer in front of headlights during that 1 over from Bumrah. Any 6 balls, he would have gotten the wicket in one of the over. It did not happen. But it was Australia's day, and you know, um, so for me that is it.
Yeah, for me, great picks, right? I completely agree with both what Rohit getting out at that stage and what happened as a key moment of the game. But I think KL Rahul sort of slowing it down, and that was like a key moment in the game where it was needed, but did you have to be so prudent and wary, right? These are like
He
familiar conditions.
Rama, he listen to you. You texting me that we have to play a test match cricket. That is what he did.
See, the other thing is about the pitch, right? Everybody wants to talk about the pitch and conditions and the toss. Yes, it did have an impact, but you don't control that. ஸோ நம்ம வந்து பாஷா தீம் வச்சுருந்தோம். ஸோ பிச்சா மனுஷ வாழ் பிரிச்சுக்க லைஃப் ஃபுல்லாக கிரிக்கெட்டை பார்த்து பார்த்து பிச்சு தான் பார்த்துருக்கோம். லாஸ்ட்டில் வந்து ஒன்றும் கிழிக்க முடியல. But I do agree it had a part, but no reasons, right? Ultimately, one team will have to bat first. And when conditions, I want to think about what happened to even Sri Lanka in 1996. 2 for 3 with Javagal Srinath bowling in, and they adjusted, right? How Arvind De Silva came in and took the tempo on and then completely changed the game. Maybe if India had decided to go a little aggressive to Ramesh's point and bring in Jadeja at that, 3-drop position, and then suddenly, the Aussies are thrown off, right? And then he goes for the kill, game could have changed. But what it tells you is captaincy, right? That is in general the breaking point. Cummins was spot on. In general, the way he backed up Maxwell in that game, the way he backed up even in the semis when against South Africa, he was a cool cucumber holding on to one end. He did something very similar here with his captaincy, and that was a breaking point when you just contrast Rohit's captaincy and Cummins' captaincy, especially in the final, and it showed up. But again, the better team won, right? And we always said, hey, இது தாண்டா ஆரம்பம், இனிமே தாண்டா பிக்சர் இருக்குன்னு we should say, because who knows, India will learn from this, get stronger, and maybe we'll have a run, right? We have to step back. Like one of my friends was texting, why is it that a small nation like, I mean, compared to India from a size of people, etc., they are like producing finals and winners all along, and where is India missing out? We touched on a few.
Because I answered that question to my friends. I said in Australia, sport is the number 2 thing they think about.
Mm.
Okay, they are well ingrained from childhood to take up some sport that they will become a champion.
Mm-hmm.
And at maybe 14 or 15, they will say it is not for me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But in India, the second biggest thing is your salary.
Mm-hmm.
We don't look at sports, we don't look at winning. I
Yeah.
will always judge your salary or Ramesh's salary. How much I'm getting or whatever. That's our mentality.
Mm.
So
To-
we
Totally agree. Totally agree. And there is too much craze about Bollywood and other things. You want to see yourself like someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Priyesh looks like Rajnikant or Rama looks like Kamal Hassan, right? So they are all, you live in others' dreams, whereas
Hey, by
you
the
have,
way, எங்க ஹேர் ஸ்டைல வச்சா மாத்தி சொல்லணும்.
our Ranjini na Kamal.
இந்த துணை நடிகர்கள் சம்பளத்தெல்லாம் நீங்க கொடுப்பீங்களா இல்ல நாகேஷ் கொடுப்பாரா?
you prove my point, right? You prove my point. So the thing is, it comes down to that Aussie spirit where, hey, I will sit out to win the game. I think Priyesh, you said that. Everybody wants batting practice. They are giving everyone batting. It's like we play the game in your childhood, right? In your gully. Hey, like batting practice, you want to get out the opponent. Like I think Rama may remember, I gotten out Chai many times while playing. So, but it comes back to that winning mindset, right? And early celebration. If you ask Shane Watson, everyone, who's going to win? India, 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 India. Bang, bang, bang. This is the greatest opportunity, caught us blindsided.
Correct.
And that is the what is that called psychological integration or mental integration by war, the mental disintegration. So see, that started with the pitch controversy, last time games itself. That mental disintegration started. So I don't know what the controversy will be in this pitch. It was a horrible pitch, to say the least, for a final. Okay. So and maybe
backfired. It backfired. It backfired. But again, the same pitch is given to both sides, right?
Yep.
So again, we cannot pitch. See, if the pitch is bad, Indian team knows about it.
No, what I'm saying is it was not a pitch for the final. That's all.
Yep.
கொஞ்சம் run score பண்ண மாதிரி இருக்கணும். But as you said, Rama, I also thought, why are they bowling first?
Correct.
Okay, that was also a tactic.
Correct.
Because they had entire strategy right, and Rohit said we will bat if I want the toss. So no comms about the toss, no comms about the pitch, but the pitch can be better for a final. That is what it is. So
and one thing for all the viewers, right? I know the nation is weeping. I know everybody thinks it's down. This is the perfect time to actually subscribe, like, and share our channel, because we're going to give you positivity, not just from here, but from other places. So, Priyesh, maybe I took that cue from you to convey this out. And there is going to be another channel that Priyesh is also starting up. I think kudos to you, Priyesh. You have been an inspiration to all of us. I just want to call it out here, both to start this effort and what you've come through after being a stroke survivor. And so if Priyesh's point being that he's doing all these things, guys, this is just a game. India had a great campaign. It is okay, right? And let's look at the positivity and just accept the fact that a better team won. Yeah, everybody thought that we could have won. It's okay. And it will come back again. This is just the beginning.
And that's a lot.
On that note, thank you, Priyesh, as well, because I've seen your motivational videos. It is all about fine-tuning your craft, whatever your craft is, and getting better at it. So, to Rama's point, thank you very much. And I think the Indian audience, the Indian fans have also evolved, right? They have taken this in a right way if you compare to the previous World Cup. So it's a progression.
And Modi also said it's okay. So in that note, that's a wrap for this episode. Subscribe, like, and share, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.